worry all the time about that.
Do you think this law has racism written all over it?
Well, we mentioned some of that before, and yeah, I think so, because it's like you said, Europeans, Caucasian Europeans, even if they are illegal in the country, stop.
They won't. And even though the law, because I had a chance to take a look at that law, and they did say illegal immigrants. They didn't list any specific type of illegal immigrants that they were looking out for. But at the end of the day, people have common sense. People have common sense. People have brains. People aren't stupid, and people know where laws are geared towards. And like I said, I'm willing to bet you that if a Caucasian European was driving down the highway, an Alabama police officer would not stop them, because to them, they'd just be a regular Caucasian person. They wouldn't think anything of it. And because if you're an illegal immigrant, you're an illegal immigrant. Whether you're from Mexico or from Africa or from, Brazil, if you're from Australia, an illegal immigrant is an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, well, I would like to comment on that, something that you just said. How about, let's say you driving a car, and let's say that you run into somebody in need. A woman that is going to be in labor, and she needs to get to the hospital, and you saw that, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to take, and you notice that she looks obviously the stereotypical Hispanic. You say, well, would you do that, or would you hesitate to take it to the hospital, risking that maybe you're in a rush in your car and you're gonna probably skip a red light or not stop well on a stop sign, and maybe you will be stopped by the police. And you, as a citizen, not white, will be asked why you're carrying an illegal alien in your car. And you're also going to be put in danger of paying probably some fines or being arrested. Any of the things that this law is gone against.
And that's what I'm saying. See, this law, it affects everyone. If I choose to help out an illegal immigrant, I could be arrested. I could be prosecuted and all that. And why do I have to go to jail? And because I don't even know if they're legal or not. Should it matter at that particular point? Say if they're bleeding on the side of the road, right. And okay, whatever happened to people just being humans and a human helping another human? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to people just helping people? Okay, so this person is bleeding on the side of the road. They need someone's help or whatever. I forgot because I have illegal immigrant senses, and I'm not going to help that person because my illegal immigrant senses are going to start tingling, and I'll have to drive off and leave them because I don't want to be prosecuted by the state of Alabama for helping an illegal immigrant. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like you're going to ask the person first.
Can I see your ID?
Can I see your papers?
Can I see your papers? No.
Yeah, so I can I can put you in my car and drive you to the hospital.
No. I mean, like I said, that and I think when you start going into those levels of thought, it's not just trying to quote unquote cut down on illegal immigration. As this person said, it's not even welcoming to the state of Alabama. And it's not, you say this is a country of immigrants, and this bring me the Statue of Liberty that sits outside of New York. Bring me, you're hungry, you're tired, you're poor, all of that. That is an invitation into all the walls within this country, including the state of Alabama. And we live right off the waters. The Mobile, all that sits off the coast. And so people are coming in through that coast all the time, coming into the state of Alabama. And how do you think that looks to people on the outside wanting to move here from another country? That doesn't look good.
Of course not. They're going to see state of Alabama being very narrow-minded.
Yes.
Backwards. And if you look around and you just mentioned this is a country of immigrants. It was built by immigrants from all over the nations, looking for freedom, whether it was religion, whether it was looking for a better life, jobs, education. Everybody has come here to improve themselves, to build the country, to make it better, the country that it is now. So, okay, now we're going to start closing the borders, and I don't. Yeah, I know that it's. You need to have laws. You need to have regulations. You need to know who is here. Criminals are not welcome, obviously.
Now, I'm not now.
Yes. So we need to regulate everybody. We need to know who is our neighbor, and I completely agree with that. That we have to have laws. But then, if you are starting like, okay, because you look this way, you maybe are illegal. Or the ones who are illegal, they're also seen as criminals. So it's a controversy here because, like we said, this country was built on immigration. And everybody who came to the United States at the time when the doors were open for everybody, nobody was legal at the time when they got to what you mentioned, the Ellis Island. They didn't have green cards with them.
Papers. And that's another thing too. Now I want to go back to what you said earlier. I am not for anyone gaining illegal access into this country. So I want to make that clear. I'm not a supporter of illegal immigration. I'm not a supporter of people, hopping across or skipping across the American border just to, gain access to this country. I do feel that if you are in this country, you do need to have established proper citizenship, and because proper citizenship means getting a social security number and all that. And by having a social security number, which means that grants you're basically putting money into the system. All of that, you get a job, they put your social security number on there. You're giving to, Medicare, Medicaid, state and federal taxes, local taxes, all that stuff. You are putting into the system. You are basically, you're paying for the services that are being provided for you in this country. That's the way I feel. And it's basically, to me, illegal immigration is somewhat like, let's just say if someone decided to sit in your classroom, a random person just decided just to walk into the building which you teach your class in and just sit in there and just listen to you. Haven't paid a quarter to be there. And you may not notice that person is not even on the roll. Some random person just walks in there and just sits in your class and just starts listening to you, starts taking down notes. That person, I guess, in the university sense, isn't, quote, illegal student or, illegal immigrant. That's the way that, in a way, I kind of see illegal immigration. However, I'm not for this law. I'm not, because I think it's racist.
Well, I would like to comment on your example. In my opinion, if I have, for example, a class of 35, which I have right now, and you say that, well, there is one or two people sitting there, and maybe, I don't know, they're in the roster or they have paid tuition, but then I see the person very interested in learning, and maybe participating more than the people who are paying, and being probably more responsible with their homework, and maybe improving their language skills faster and progressing better. I would say if I would be able to do that, I would say, like, well, I don't see you here. Maybe you're not paying tuition, but I probably will get out of my pocket and pay your tuition because you're one of my brightest students, even, and you are more interested than the even people who are supposedly required and paying money for this class. So yeah, I'm not saying that everybody here will skip through the border and everybody flying and we lose control of our immigration laws here. But when you start pointing at people and seeing people as like everybody that look this way should be out of the country or chased, and what happens to the contribution that this person is doing to the society at the moment? Maybe our leader should just take a look at that and see maybe, well, that student that is not paying, in this case an illegal alien, is not paying, but he's cleaning the neighborhood, opening probably opportunities for people, and rebuilding towns in Alabama that are probably dying out or look in poverty. And would you probably say, okay, well, this community that was like a dead town now looks prosperous? And who is doing this? Maybe legal people who, well, maybe they're legal, maybe not, but how about if they're illegal? Would you say, okay, just get out of my town, and then the town will be just the same or worse than it was before? So I think in a way we have to look carefully at who really is contributing to our society, like people contributed 100 years ago, and it's been contributing for the entire 20th century and the 21st century. So I see that when we point out things, or we start thinking about aliens, then the name alien itself is a little
sounds like a Martian
controversy. Just starts a controversy just by the name alien.
Alien to me are the little green things that you saw coming in the little spaceships from Mars.
Well, yeah, those were the original aliens. And then, so of course, everybody started calling aliens everybody who was not legal in the country. So
give me just 1 second, Mr. P. You're listening to 91.9 FM WLJS Jacksonville. It's 31 minutes past the hour. I want to ask you this one last question to wrap up this Alabama immigration law. What if someone, a representative from the Department of Homeland Security, told you that, well, due to terrorist acts such as September 11th, we feel that this law is the best way to keep out illegal immigrants who could be possible terrorists and could cause harm to the United States of America, and they tell you that is their reason for this law. They're justifying it with that. Yeah. How would you respond to someone telling you that? Now, this is someone from the Department of Homeland Security, so they are supposedly the experts in protecting the country. So, what would you have to say to someone?
Well,
told you that.
Of course, that's what that department was created, to protect us from terrorists and to control who is in the country and doing acts that they shouldn't be doing. And I would say, well, you need to do your homework well and go around and check who's doing or acting against the country. And by acting against the country, I don't think the people working in poultry factories or picking up tomatoes or any of those things would be plotting terrorist attacks. So if you check most of the people who are illegal or that look illegal, according to the stereotyping of Hispanic being legal, just look around where they work, what they do, and maybe you don't have to spend a lot of money searching for terrorists in Alabama, because most of these people are working in factories or in farms that of course they're not committing any plots against the nation.
They just want to work.
They're just trying to work and then raise their children, and they came to this country because that's the way they were seen to improve themselves, to get food, to teach the children that this place is better for them. And I don't think that will be hard to do, to find that they are not doing anything to put this country in
danger.
In danger, yes.
Right, understandable. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Mr. P and I are going to discuss misconceptions in people's ethnicity.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be very interested to.
Well, yeah, there are many.
She'll be very interested to discuss this. And why